Hello everyone. In this video, we're going to take a look at creating workflows in Leadsius, more or less the heart and soul of a marketing automation platform. So let's go over to our Publish section and go directly to the area titled Workflows. When we come here, now this is a testing account, so we have a lot of previously loaded examples. We're going to click Add New, and we're going to call this our first workflow. You can give it a description if you'd like. You will have to select a start date. So in this case, right now it's 16:03 here. So we're going to put it on for Tuesday and we'll want it to start at 6 p.m., let's say. Now you have the option to create an end date. So there may be scenarios where you want a workflow, but you know that it has to stop by a certain date to protect you from perhaps sending emails that are no longer relevant. You can do so by defining the date here, but if not, if this is just going to be open-ended and reoccurring, you could just leave it. So we're going to click Save. And this is going to look familiar to our email program section. Basically what it's going to, or actually to our lists section as well as our email program section. So the first thing we select is what is the trigger for this workflow? Now I'll keep this screen up for a little bit. You can see submitted web form, which those of you using a free account, this is the only workflow you have. But we also have if they've opened an email, if an email was not sent, if they clicked a specific email, you can even specify the link in the email that they clicked that you'd want an action to occur thereafter. A certain number of opens, or maybe they viewed a specific page on your website, for example, or they were added to a specific list. Maybe that triggers a drip campaign. So in this situation, I'm just gonna, for the sake of an example, you submitted a web form and the web form was maybe our Chris's web form. Now let's pretend that this was a guide download. A good example would be someone downloads a guide, they get a submitter email, which if you watch our video on web forms, you'll hear more on what a submitter email is. But you may want to have a follow-up on something. Maybe you have a really intense white paper that's very long, and you know, okay, if someone's reading this, then they're very interested in my business. This might be an instance where you'd want to have a personal follow-up from a rep a few days later, just saying, hey, noticed you downloaded our guide. I just wanted to get your feedback. If you have any questions, I'm here for you. That could be an example of a workflow. Now, before I hit save or save and add task, which is where I define the email to go out, you can also dive deeper into a segment. So earlier I showed you how to create, or if you viewed already our video on custom fields, you can do something such as, okay, I want to select the people who've submitted this web form, but only the ones whose favorite color is red, for example. Then that would be a segment under this action. You could drill down even further. So let's save and add this task. Again, if you want to watch how to create custom fields, I urge you to please go look for that video. And here, this looks exactly just like email programs. Now I'm going to define, okay, I want this email to be launched. Maybe this is a plain text email from your rep. Maybe it's HTML based with our drag and drop editor, has some images in it. So let's use my first email in this case. I want it to come from, let's say, Yvonne in this case. And I want the reply to be, well, we don't have it up there as a reply, but in this case, I'd want the reply to be Yvonne's as well. I can put the subject as, thanks for grabbing our guide. What were your thoughts? You know, whatever you want the subject line to be, and you'll define when you want this to go out. Now, take into account that with marketing automation, it all depends how human it's going to feel. It's up to you. So if you're on a website and you download something and within 2 seconds flat, you get an email from Sarah saying, hey, thanks for downloading, just wanted to talk to you, blah, 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 you're gonna know something's fishy. That email couldn't have just been triggered so quickly by Sarah. So I advise you, if you want to make this realistic, think when would you be able to get to this? But also don't stretch it too far. Don't let your leads go cold. So maybe something such as 20 minutes after, 15 minutes after, that in that neighborhood, depending on what the action was prior. And of course, if you've watched our video on email programs, when you save the task, this will not activate it. You can add if not opened or if opened rules, and you can save and add more tasks thereafter. Once you're done, you'll hit save and close to bring you back to the workflow screen, or simply save. You could delete this workflow at any time. All right, that does it for covering the basics of creating workflows in Leadsius. Thank you for watching.